Even though this is a video that you're not going to learn a lot from, and it's just about doing a project around the house, this line of thinking, using a U-shaped cell, iterating, right? I had one tool and I changed it up, making mistakes, trying to minimize effort and maximize what I can do with the least amount of effort, time, and money. These lines of thinking extend everywhere. I hope you enjoyed the video. This is going to be a lot less educational and a lot more just fun. Guys, I hope you enjoy the video. What's up, guys? This is a very quick improvement, and it's more of a visual thing. I bought a bunch of weights. At the end of this video, you're gonna know how to take them from super, I don't know how it comes up in video, but in person, they're disgusting. It's kind of old, they're the iron weights. And by the end, I'll turn you guys around. I'm gonna show you guys how to make them beautiful. So it'll look something like this. It's right at the beginning of the summer. My wife and I are making an effort to be more healthy, so went and bought some discount weights online that were used and breathe new life on them. They work completely fine. In this, you're gonna need basically spray paint, whatever colors you want, some dish soap. I didn't realize it, but if you have a pressure washer, that's gonna help a lot. I did not start with it. You'll see me actually make that improvement in the middle of the video. And then last thing is gonna be some kind of Windex and some paper towels. I'm using fluorescent. You're gonna see that here in a second. Step 1, remove the rust, or step 2 is clean. Step 3 is paint. And so I'm gonna go ahead and finish these last few up, and we're gonna get to it. All right, so further on the restoration, another thing you want is before you start the project, grab every single tool you have. And here we are outside, we've got a U-shaped cell. I can stand here, I can go left, I can go right, going front to back, all the way down. Unfortunately, I think I'm gonna end up doing this batch work due to the cycle times of drying that. You'll see that later on the why. Otherwise, I do it one-piece flow. I'm gonna be cleaning them out, clean them, prep them, one-piece flow style, and then when they're all done, I'll hit this backside, which is black paint. Now, a quick reason why people generally don't do one-piece flow is there is something going on with the setup time, setup and tear down, that I don't want to do it. And so a lot of that has to do with motion and transportation waste, which is why it's critical to be in this U-shaped cell. And so basically, I'm going to be cleaning this, turning, wiping it down, throwing the trash away, reach, grab. So I'm really never taking a step. And I'll probably maybe cycle these things through where I'll do all the dusty work over here. The wind is blowing from this direction, but I'll do the spray painting over there. So that way, as I'm sanding and stuff, there's not stuff getting all over the place. And so that is my one-piece flow. Sorry, I'm filming with one hand. Otherwise, I would show you guys more stuff. Alrighty, guys. So I just finished spray painting this one, and this takes some cycle time to dry. So while this is drying, I'm going to be prepping the next one. It's some transportation waste to get over there. All the efforts over there. I come over here and fulfill this last process. Really, another winner, or a better winner, would be if I did have a U-shaped cell with a table here, because I can just turn. But low volume, so should be okay. All right, guys, process improvement. I completely forgot I had a pressure washer, which is way better than what's going on here. So all I'm doing is I'm spot hitting anywhere where there's rust, like these areas here. I spot hit it, knock anything off, knock off any loose paint chips. I'll take it over there, I'll pressure wash it. I'll set it upright to dry. It dries pretty dang quick because it's summertime here. It'll be far cleaner than both sides. And then these three, I'll probably actually very carefully flip them over and pressure wash them as well, because it's going to get more of the gunk off than me like manually getting in there with this. So if you got a pressure washer, which a lot of folks do, totally doable, worth it, and convenient. But yeah, so U-shaped cell, I'm basically doing the work there, popping it over. So it's not so great, but I'm still going to use this as a spraying surface. So you guys will see that here coming up. All right, guys, so here we are. You're going to apply a very light coat of paint. The less, the better. You can always hit it with a second coat if you want. I'm just doing the backs all black, making sure you're staying a few, whatever, read the can instructions at the back. But before this step, the most important parts, I mean, these are gonna look really good, but the most important part before then is your prep work. So you really, really want to have cleaned, make sure there's no dust on the surface, because they're gonna look awesome. And if there's contaminants on the surface, what's going to happen is it's going to look awesome, but for a very short amount of time. So if you can really do the prep work up front, it'll be well worth it. I think I spent 3 hours on prep work, and hopefully it pans out. All right, guys, I have them all flipped around, and we are getting ready to paint. And so again, one thing you're going to want to do is do one last inspection, because once we get to it, there's no going, well, there is going back, but you're gonna have to do a whole bunch of rework to double check there's not any high spots of rust. This one right here, I found has 2 or 3 spots that I'm not happy with. Now that they're dry, I can see them. And so the rest of them seem okay. So I'm glad I didn't start. So this guy right here, I'm gonna get back to sanding it, and I'm gonna come right back to it.
A few moments later.
All right, and so here we are. And again, it's gonna look worse before it gets better. And so make sure you let this thoroughly dry. And then one big thing is you wanna make sure every letter has some paint on it. So you don't want, like for instance here, there's a little thin. You don't want that going on top of the letters. You want to make sure that each of your letters is nice and firm and has full color. All right guys, pro tip, use a tray or something. I'm just using a plant tray right here. You're gonna dip your fingers. You wanna make sure there's not very much. And you're just gonna lightly coat each of these. If you get a little drip like that, that's okay. It'll come out in the finished product though, no big deal. Make sure you're covering all the letters. And if you get some inside there, no worries. Try not to get too much on the actual face with your smudges. You'll see that here in a little bit. So I'll come back to you when we're done with all this. All right, that previous step was optional. Now you're just gonna take your dish soap and kind of just make random waves all over this thing here. Well, we wanna have the stripes on there so it looks good. You just kind of see that. Try not to spray where it moves everything around, but you're gonna just cover it all up. It should be mostly black when you're done. All right, so towards the end, you can kind of see there's still some color shining through. You should spray until you see no color shining through except for right there, except for on the actual dawn lines. And when you're done, you're just gonna let this dry and you're gonna wash it off. Check it out. Look how cool that is. It'll look even better once they're off the actual plate, because you can kind of see it blending in. It's a little distracting. Like if you see there's like a little dull places kind of right there. It could just be that it wasn't dried, or some of it dried, so you can hit it a little harder. But if you got the sanding down, or the cleaning down, and the pre-prep work, then it should be pretty awesome. Look at this.